morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you are listening to this. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am so grateful for your presence. Again, I apologize for my long absence. Again, dealing with some concussions. I've had three now since January, and they're just getting intense. And it's a lot to recover from. So I am sorry to leave you for a while there. Still dealing with one now, but the symptoms are going down. But enough about me. I have this is a show that's been on the table now for quite some time. And I knew we were going to do it, but it was something that needed to ferment a little bit. It needed to grow. And um but I feel like the timing is right now. And I've acquired enough information from downloads from channels that I think we're ready to go with it. And the topic of discussion today is hell. And I don't like to use that word. I don't like to use the guy down there's name. So please forgive me about that. But because there is an energy there, obviously. When you say those names, when you say that location, there is an energy. There's an energy with those words and thoughts. So I am very mindful of that type of stuff. But as I said, this is something that's been sitting with me, and um, it's time to it's time to go with it. Um, First, when we talk about this location, we talk about it in the understanding that God has only created heaven and earth. And every time you hear about God and creation, you hear it in that context that he only created heaven and earth. So then you begin to wonder, well, then why do we have the place down there? And not sure how many of you guys know this or not, but we are the purveyors of hell. We helped create it. Now, that might be news to some, and some people may have known that already. I don't know, but the guy down there, okay, is unable to create. That's just factual. He cannot create. So he needs us. He needs us to to fear him and the souls that he has, the other fallen angels. And what is happening is he is leveraging our ability to create his kingdom, if you will. Now, it's clearly down there, you basically just eat yourself, you know? But you guys know I've been doing a lot of research on near-death experiences, on um past lives, on uh um gosh, what do you call it? Father Ripperger. Uh Exorcisms. So I've been studying them a lot. And one day I was watching an interview with Father Ripperger, who was an exorcist. And a lot of people will say you can't believe anything that the guy down there says during an exorcism because they lie. Well, okay, yeah, they do lie. Yes, that is true. But not always. Sometimes they do reveal some truth. And I will tell you this, the guy down there is only capable of what God will allow. Now, I got that from Father Ripperger, and I will say it's very, very interesting. And you got to look at it in this realm as well. Like, why would God allow such a thing? in reality, God wants us to come home, right? And we he will use, hey, if we have free will, free choice. So we are shown both. And hey, if you want to choose that, I love you, God says, I love you enough to where if you want it, that's your decision. But here is beauty, where here is just straight negativity. And what do you want to choose? So we as souls choose to come here to grow because we want to get closer to God. You know, we're born soul wise down here. Obviously, we're not archangels who have never lived human life. There's a hierarchy. There is. And on, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, we're born down here, but we have options to go higher. And that is the beauty. That is the beauty of the journey, if you will. And I got to watch how much I go off here because this topic is so vast. There's just no way that we can cover it all. But let's stay on topic then. There is a hierarchy. We are down here in souls, and most of us will choose to go up. But there are some that want to delve into that lower vibrational aspects. Now, on a soul level, you have to look at that as you know, we're in a school and they're like, all right, well, what's that all about? You know, like let me experience it so I can make an educated decision if you think about it logically. So they delve into that and let's see, all right, what's this all about? There are so anyway, let me go back to Father Ripperger. He was doing an exorcist, and in this interview he said, um he asked a question about hell and how it was created. And he said, Father Ripker said that um, God allowed or made the guy down there answer a question honestly. And he said that the guy down there comes up and said, I don't want, it's not verbatim, but basically said, because of you or with you. And when you sit back and think about that, it doesn't take long, in my opinion, to come to the understanding that that is 100% factual. Because what I've realized as a medium and doing is the sessions that I do, you're not given everything, you're not given all the answers in one just, hey, this is how it works. Bam, go with it. No, it does not work like that. You get pieces at times, and you will watch you'll get information and you have to start to like catalog them and then start to put them together. Now, what I will say is it's not difficult when you rely solely, and this is the very important part, when you rely solely on your intuitive sense, you know when you hear something, oh yeah, that is part of this puzzle. Bam, insert it where it needs to go. It's not like you have to sit there and think about it. You just have to be open and ready to insert the piece into the part it needs to go to when you hear it. So be aware. And that is what this is all about. The awareness. Being a medium is all about awareness because we're always getting communication. So when we hear um so Father Ripperger hears that, and it is so profound. Now, there are a lot of details, I think, that exorcists get, especially in the Catholic faith, in my personal opinion, that they don't tell us. And they don't because it will directly conflict with some of the belief systems that some churches have, like past lives. They don't believe we have past lives. They think this is the only one. I disagree with that. And I think that information does come out in Exorcist, but they don't reveal it. That's just my own opinion. I'm not saying it's factual in that they get it and they don't tell us. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I bet you they get it and they don't tell us. But that's just part of the whole thing, you know. I understand. You know, they have a narrative that they need to spin as well. So and you know and then the churches, a lot of them make you think that you need them, the church, in order to be close to God. That's not factual at all. However, again, we're vast subject, we're kind of veering a little bit, please forgive me. There's so much to this, but that aspect of creating the hell is we are now. Let me share you a story on how in the beginning, I told you guys how important words are, right? There's energy there. So saying that word, hell, it conjures an energy, right? Saying the name of the guy down there conjures an energy. I don't like doing that, but I am doing it in this one because, at least for that location, just so you guys understand it, it's a little bit easier to follow. What I will say though is those words are very, very important. And how we are the purveyors of hell, very easy. Now, people that know that I am a genuine person. I'm a kind person. I'm a loving person. I love everybody. I want to help everybody. But even knowing that, some of the people that are closest to me have known me my entire life. Even some of those people that are in religious groups will come to me and say, "You are going to hell." And they'll say that because in their religious belief, people that communicate with spirit directly and don't go through the church are going down there. Complete BS. But whatever. It's their belief, and that's fine. However, they'll tell you that, and they'll tell you that straight up. And I've had many people tell me that you're going down there. The thing is, there are some now that right there is you are selling that location. You are now damning, potentially damning a soul there. Because what I will tell you is, again, remember the puzzles. All right. You hear stories, you got to put them together. If I held on to that belief system, that could absolutely, if I believed and held on to this belief that I was going down there because I communicated with spirit, if I held on to that, that could affect my consciousness so much that I started to believe that to the point that my soul would have to potentially go down there, and then God would have to reach to me. I would have to reach out to God. I'm sorry. I would have to reach out to God for him to save me to come back up. And let me give you an example there. Okay. Again, puzzles, right? I told you about past lives. So here's a story. A woman experienced um this very thing where she was in a church that told her repeatedly only certain people go to heaven. What church would ever say that is beyond me, but I know there are tons of them out there. But that is the and when I say certain, I mean like priests. Only priests go to only the higher leaders of a church go to heaven. Everyone else goes down. Like what? But anyway, that's what she believed. That was the church that she went to. She had a near death experience. And in her near death experience, she went down and experienced in her mind, she experienced like 3 days in hell. And it wasn't until, and I think I told you guys this story before, maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, she spent 3 days down there. She had a number of situations happen to her that were all ugly, let's say, not very nice. And finally, she um sang a song because it ultimately ended like it was Christmas Day in on Earth, and she was down there, and this figure down there, this entity said, "Oh, we don't like Christmas up in on Earth," and she started to sing a Christmas song that was a song to God or Jesus, and bam, she was taken out of hell. So when you start to put these pieces together, you start to see like, wow, this is true. How we are the purveyors of hell because we start to condemn our own people, our own humanity. And let me give you another example. We choose to believe that anybody that does something negative, like someone that murders people, Adolf Hitler, whoever you want to say, we are like, oh, it's justifiable that that guy or this individual that hurt somebody over here or did something over there, it's justifiable that that person goes down there. That's their location. That's where they go. But it completely misunderstands the idea of heaven. We are looking at it from this third dimensional perspective as if we're not in a school. Earth is a school for us to learn. And yes, there is a serious imbalance of energy when you allow yourself to do that kind of stuff, a major imbalance. And that needs to be balanced, right? But that is why we reincarnate. We reincarnate to come back to continue to balance that energy. And it's a lot. So, yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. However, we continue to say, you're going down there. God does not talk like that. And from my experience, God and all these near death experiences that I've ever read, and I've read about people that are not good having near death experiences, people that are good having near death experiences, people that have lived pretty good lives. Some go down, some go up immediately. But God forgives all. He loves all. And almost I feel almost universal. And yet we get caught up in this idea that, oh, only the good people go to heaven. Yet we are all sinners, every one of us. We all do things that are wrong, but we look at each other and we go, yeah, but my sin isn't as bad as his sin or her sin or whatever. That it doesn't, we must forgive all and love all because we are the purveyors. We helped create hell. Now, when you begin to operate in that knowing and that understanding that we created hell, we can uncreate it. We can create an only heaven. Not only not we can create, but we can remove that lower vibrational location from our being if we just learn to forgive and love. Understanding that whether or not you live or die, like if you get hurt and you die, Jesus walked himself to his death. I don't understand if we realize how important that is. He did not he did not condemn anybody that did or said or whatever negatively about him at that point. He told his father to forgive them. That is so profound. So profound. And yet we in our, in our lower hierarchical selves, think that we can like condemn somebody to a place down there when in reality we choose to go there and either stay or adhere to the fear. Because to be honest with you, when you go down there, based on all the stories that I've read and heard, it is really a matter of just choosing to reach out to God at that moment in any way. God, please help me, is a prayer, and he'll take you. But we, for whatever reason, continuously say, you, someone that hurt another person is going down there. And there's so much that we're missing there. That could be a new soul just born who is struggling to find its way. to balance energy, struggling to balance these energies, and is making difficult decisions. Let me tell you, the soul on the inside is trying hard to balance, but it's a new soul, maybe a young soul. Remember, we did that podcast, I don't even remember when, talking about the soul's age. There are thousands of lifetimes that a soul will live on this plane before it reaches the next level. And we're talking infant, and then newborn, and then infant, and then young. I mean, you're talking thousands, hundreds of thousands of lifetimes between infant and old. And I don't care if you're even an old soul, a transcendental soul, you're making mistakes. You are doing things, you're sinning. Don't care who you are. If you're human, if you're living, you need to heal, and you are sinning in some way, shape, or form. You've done something in your life that was or could be viewed as a sin. And we must begin to stop this condemnation of each other and really begin to learn how to love all and forgive. And the thing is, I get it, in our school systems, we don't teach coping skills. We don't teach how to problem solve. Like, we want to teach them, the schools will say, "Oh, we want to teach kids how to bank so that they learn how to handle money when they grow up." Well, how about we just teach them how to overall general problem solve so that they know how to handle every problem? And how about we don't want bullies. Well, bullies are a direct result of, and again, please, I'm like going off, please forgive me. Bullies are a result of people, individuals, kids, even adults that don't know how to handle their own feelings, so they project it onto somebody else. And yet again, we don't teach kids how to cope. So my point here is that we must begin to learn how to cope with our feelings, with our emotions, and learn to forgive, and learn to trust God in his infinite wisdom, or her, whatever you want to call it, universal energy, God, whatever, and learn to trust in the plan that he has for us, and understand that his love is so infinite and so beautiful. Now, I will tell you this, I have felt that love. I have felt the heavenly love before. A situation, I woke up one day and I could just feel it. I was like, man, there's something inside of me that is like, I could just feel this overwhelming love, right? So I had to run to the store. After I woke up, I ran to the store and I came back and I grabbed some breakfast on the way. I get back and I was going to eat it, and all of a sudden it hit me. And it was the most, I can't even begin to describe the feeling that I had, but I started to cry so much because I could feel so much love. And it wasn't even controllable. Like, I couldn't control the tears. It was just like, oh my God, this love is like, what? And tears are just streaming down my face. And I was in my parents' kitchen, my wife, my kids, my parents were there. And I'm like, I just feel so much love, and I don't know where it's coming from. It found out later that it was Archangel Muriel that was with me at that moment, who told me she allowed me to experience the heavenly love for that time. And when I tell you it was profound, it that doesn't even begin to describe it. But what I will say is that I got this little taste of heaven at that very moment, of that true feeling of heaven. But God lives in it. God is it. And and he feels that for all of us, because he understands that we're in a school trying to balance energy and that we make mistakes, but the whole purpose that we're here is for that balance. And yes, when we make mistakes, and every one of us makes mistakes, that it's okay. And even if you die as a result of someone else's mistake, God will still forgive that individual and what they did, if They ask God for it. Yes, if you go down there, you do have to reach out to God. In every case that I've heard of somebody going down there, a guide of some sort had to tell that soul to reach out to God, pray to God, call God, ask for God's help, so forth. But we are the purveyors of that place down there. And the guy downstairs has and needs us. So if you think about everything that's going on in the world right now, there is a serious revelation that is happening. There are multiple industries, politics, uh, actors, uh, Hollywood in general, the medical field. There are so many industries that are getting exposed right now for the not good things that they are doing. But God will forgive all of them if they ask for it. And he will forgive us if we ask for it. But the guy down there cannot create, and he needs us. And our ego minds are a huge player in this because your ego mind, okay, we said everybody sins, okay? Everybody. And we all need to balance energy. So if that's true, well, then how are we getting put into these situations where we are how is the guy down there using us to build, this that location, hell? How is he building hell through us? Okay, so we commit a sin, everybody does. Then maybe somebody finds out about it, or we don't want people to find out about it, so we hold on to it. But in reality, it does need to be revealed. It does have to be. We do have to cast light on that. But our ego, remember, doesn't want that. It is all about self-preservation. And if people think that we are something that we're not, then we we feel like that is hurting us. It feels like, ooh, we're not as maybe people might think that we're not as good as we think we are if if maybe a sin that we have committed is revealed and other people find out about it. Maybe you didn't treat somebody well in whatever situation, or maybe you lied about something here, or maybe you stole something over there, or maybe you commit murder, maybe you assaulted somebody in some way, and maybe you changed your life, but maybe you don't want people to find out about that now. And whatever it is, the ego that you're holding on to that you don't want other people to know because for whatever reason, that is an opportunity for the guy down there to start to um build, because he'll send, all right, energy. It's magnetic, right? So that is a shadow within you, okay, this right now. And the guy down there sees those shadows, so he'll say, okay, what he'll do is he'll put somebody in front of you that starts to reveal some stuff, or maybe blackmails you, or whatever it is, and you hold on so tightly that you're like, no, 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 I'll do something else. I'll do something for you so that you don't reveal that truth, and you don't cast light upon that truth, and you then commit something else egregious or not necessarily good. Then you start to spiral because the guy down there knows it has you now. Now it's like, I got you. You're mine. Again, that's not true, because if you just cast light upon it and you ask God for his forgiveness, you'll be forgiven. But the ego mind is a huge player here. And the guy down there knows this. He knows, because remember, he was an angel. Um, and the guy down there is going to do things to get you to think that you cannot go up there. There was there was he's also going to lie, the lies. These are all lies. He's just going to lie to you to make you think that you're not worthy or that it shouldn't be revealed whatever you've done. So there's this one guy who he said he was hearing voices, right, from down there. This is how, like, when he gets in and people start to follow the guy down there's like logic or way of thinking, it can really mess us up. And clearly we are at that point where we are getting misled, but we're not, some of us are not strong enough to reveal all that we have done to cast light on it. We're not strong enough there mentally, soul wise. We're still growing. So we don't possess that strength to overcome it, saying, like, we don't have that strength to go, hey, I messed up. I am who I am. I'm sorry, but now I'm going to right that ship. Some of us don't have that strength. And those are the people who are getting stuck in these um in these like snowballs, okay? And that's tough. But this one guy, he was in a situation where he was mentally, he was like going through depression and stuff like that. And he did not want his family to know that he was struggling so much. So he hid it from them. Well, he started to hear voices, and these voices were not very good. And one day, this is a guy that had a near death experience that went down there. One day, this entity from down there said, all right, look, I'm going to make a deal with you. Okay. I know you don't want your family to know about this stuff, that everything that you're feeling, and you want to kind of keep that away. And this guy was one of those ones that thought heaven was only um like only for the good people, only for the people that didn't have these kinds of thoughts. So he just struggled with depression. I mean, he didn't even have anything major. Oh, and he did drugs too. He was using drugs, and he didn't want his family to know about all of that. So this entity came to him and was like, "All right, I know you want to go to heaven, so I'll make you a deal. Okay, if you kill yourself right now," and he was in his mom's house, in his mom's kitchen, "kill yourself right now. I will make it so that you only have to stay in hell for a certain period of time." Okay. And the guy was like, whoa, really? He looked at it as like a prison sentence. Like, I only have to go to prison for this many years and then I can go to heaven. And he was like, that's amazing because I didn't think I could go to heaven. And he's like, oh, no, 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 no. The guy down there, he's like, yeah, you're good, man. You do that for me. Okay. And I'll do that for you. I'll hook you up. That guy in his mom's kitchen takes a knife out of the knife stand, puts it into his stomach. The entity was right next to him, talking to him still. As mom walks in the kitchen, like, whoa, she's exploding. He has the knife in his stomach. Now, what he realizes, his mom gets on the phone. She calls 911, they're coming. He starts to hear the ambulance like a couple minutes later because he didn't go right away. He has the knife in his stomach. The entity is right next to him going, whoa, dude, you need to hurry up. They're coming. You need to hurry up. Take it out and put it into your heart. Wouldn't you know, this dude took the knife and sliced up. Holy moly. He wanted to, he thought, so think about this. He wanted to get to heaven so much, but he was misled by us, by each other, thinking that only certain people can go to heaven. And when he heard, hey, I can go to heaven, but I have to do something first, he was all about it because he wanted to feel that love. He did that in his mom's kitchen, sliced up. He ultimately passed away for a period of time because he went down there. And he said, as I passed away, because he was um like pronounced dead on arrival, or dead when they got to him, and then they eventually resuscitated him. However, he said while he was passed away, dead, he saw himself falling, and he said it didn't stop. It just wouldn't stop. He just kept falling and falling and falling and falling, and he didn't like it. So he didn't understand. He knew he was going to a place that wasn't good, but he didn't understand why he was falling so much. And you think about it, we've heard other stories where the guy down there has said, "Oh, if you do this, then you can do that, which is much better. Once you do this, you could do that, which is much better. That's where you want to go, but you have to do this first." Like the one lady who had to cut down this entire field full of trees with like a butter knife. She's like, "What?" And she gets done the first one, and then it pops up again right behind her when she goes to the second. This guy, what he didn't realize was the guy downstairs said that he could go to heaven once he spends certain amount of time in hell, but he was falling and he didn't know if he would ever literally land. And yet he was in this dark place, this dark tunnel of falling, and he could feel the fall, but he never landed. So how, if you never get to that spot, how can you eventually get there? So you see how the guy down there tricks you. That's why you never talk to it, ever. You never talk to that down there, ever. As a medium, that is something that you never do. You always ask for God first, Jesus first, anyone that you believe in, ask them first to come in. All right. So ultimately, as this guy's fallen, he hears a voice, call to God, ask for help, ask for forgiveness. And he does. And bam, he's taken out of it. God saves him. But what a freaking story, right? Like, that's amazing. That's insane. But it was because this guy had a belief about heaven. And it was because we were selling it. And we got to stop selling that. Stop sending anybody. I saw a video. Stop sending anyone to that location, to hell. Stop. Forgive. Understand that we have to start to look at heavenly's love as so deep that there is no everybody, every soul can go to heaven if you ask for it. But you have to ask, and you have to reveal your shadows, not necessarily to the world, but to whoever, and then better yourself. And I'm not saying, even if you don't do that in this lifetime, okay, fair enough. You're still going to heaven. You could still go to heaven. God will accept everyone, all of us. But we have to stop sending people down there. I don't care what they did. And I understand that might be a little tough for some people to understand that, if somebody did something so bad that they're going down there. It doesn't matter. That is not up for you or me to say. Is it possible? I mean, we created it. The guy down there could not have created hell without us. We created it because we send those people. We send people down there. When God is up there going, "No, I love you all. I love everyone. You are all equal. You are all beautiful souls. You are all capable of doing and being great people." We have to understand that a young soul is still struggling to balance energy. And we as a society, as a humanity, we do not hold on to God with such love and reverence because we think this guy down there is equally as powerful, and he isn't. He's not. He is nothing without you. Whereas God is everything. He is nothing. He needs you. He needs you to believe in him. He needs you to fear his darkness so that he can get in and do his manipulating things to you. That is where we diminish our light. That is where we are not understanding how powerful we are as creators, as manifestors, as loving beings. You are the light. You are the light. And you are here to shed that light upon all. Not, not him and him because they're good people, and not him and her because they're not good people. All of them, bring them together. It is your love. It is your light that is so powerful and so important right now. It is needed. We need it. Heaven needs you, wants you to rise above all of this low vibration and be the best version of yourself. One step at a time. One second at a time. The power of the moment. I forget the guy now who says that, the power of the moment, the power of this moment. It's so true. Every second, every second, you have an opportunity to be love, to be light. And you have the opportunity to express forgiveness and gratitude, to learn a lesson, to find the peace that is needed within yourself to be the light. Don't think about don't think about, what's going to happen today or tomorrow, 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, an hour, 24 hours, a week, a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years. You don't have to sit there and think about all the stuff, all the steps that you're going to have to make or take, later down the road. What can you do right now? Right this very second, what can you do to be loving, to be light, to be grateful, to express forgiveness? That is all you have to think about, worry about, not even worry, wrong terminology. That is all you have to do. Be present. Be present. Stop selling hell. Remove your realtor license for that location down there and be done with it. I'm going to share a story with you, right? So obviously I'm a medium and I do a lot of light work around the world, or country, whatever. I mean, I send light all over the world regularly. And that definitely does get some beings that want to um see what they could do. They want to poke me. They want to see. And it happens on occasion. The other night I had a situation where this entity, he came to me and he wanted me to say his name 3 times. And again, there's power in words, guys. There's so much power in your words, so much energy. Watch what you say. Watch what you do. Watch your thoughts. Once you're aware of your thoughts, then make a decision on being the light. How can I change that thought into something that's more positive? So, um, this entity, he put these images in my mind, right? I was in a crawl space in my mind and I could feel him. And he says, say my name. And it took me a second to realize that, what was going on. And I said his name. I knew something in the vision. I knew something was right in front of me, but I couldn't see it. It was completely transparent. But I knew it. And I'm like, what, like, why would I say your name? But I did say it in the vision. And I said, wait a second. If you're really there, move this. There was something at my foot. It was a screw in the vision, right? That this thing was giving me. I said, wait, if you're really there, and I moved my foot, and as I was moving my foot, I said, move that screw. As I moved my foot, the screw moves. And I was like, all right, well, that could be just me moving my foot away from it. So, okay, being, I moved my foot again and I was completely not touching it now. It was isolated. I said, all right, if you're really there, move it. Let me know you're there. Move that. And it moved it. And I was like, okay, something's here. Again, this is a vision that it was given me, but I was starting to manage it myself because I've trained my subconscious so much about these situations, which is so important in meditation. But then I turned around and it wanted me to say its name one more time. And that would have been the third time. And I turned around and I looked at in its perceived eyes, because I couldn't see it, but I could feel it right there in front of me. And I looked at it right in its perceived eyes and I said, may Jesus love you forever. And bam, it all broke. It was so amazing. So amazing. But do you see how powerful that love was? I didn't condemn it. I didn't curse it. I didn't get mad or angry. I expressed love to it. And love is what it doesn't want. Love is what it doesn't know and or doesn't want you to have. And as soon as I did that, it all broke. My dad calls me up one night. He goes, Chris, I was just attacked by something. And he goes, man, I cursed it out. I was getting all angry at it. And I'm like, Dad, if you really want to get rid of it, send it love. Let it feel your love because that's what it doesn't want. It wants your anger. You just fed it. You just gave it a Scooby snack. It wants more. Send it love. Show it how powerful your love is. That is how we break hell. We send love to all. Doesn't matter who or what they did. It doesn't matter because it affects you, your energy. And your energy is what this is all about. You want your vibration to be high. Whether or not a person, after they die on a physical level, goes down there, that's up to them. It's up to them. You are worried or not worried. You want to manage your energy, your love. And don't buy this crap about only certain people go to heaven. Only certain people go to heaven. Everybody can go to heaven if you ask God for his arm, for his help, for his forgiveness. Be the love, my friends. And love is what will always win. Always. I saw a poster. I was just at I just went away for the weekend last weekend and still trying to get over these concussions, right? And but I needed some time away in a healing spot in a healing place. So I went and I saw a sign on a wall and it said love always wins. And that is absolutely true. Absolutely. Love does always win. And it is the love that we need most, not these condemnations of people, not of actions. We don't need that. We need your love. We need you to be present in the moment and make a decision at that very moment on how you can be high vibrational. That will win. That is what we need right now. That is what God is asking of us right now. Because even right now, this world is dealing with so much change, and it's a lot. It is a lot, but it is our anger and frustration that the guy down there is using to build his thing. It is love that will take us as a society coming together, understanding that our differences in thought, our differences in understanding that, hey, you might think one way and I might think another way. That's okay. We still have even these churches that are saying to one another, I don't like you because you believe this and you do this and you act this way and you like what? That isn't love. And then we have people over there that say, "Whoa, you can't. I'm going to control what you say now because you think you don't like what I do. So I'm going to say you can't say these words and all that." And they're like, "Whoa, that's not love either." Understand that we are all one. That is that is truly the highest level of understanding that we can attain. The idea that we are all one. We all emanate from love. We all are love. We all have love inside of us. Even if some of us don't feel it, it's there. We just have to help them. Your prayers can actually help that. That's a powerful aspect of love. Be the best version of yourself, my friends. Please. And we will remove hell. Be love. Exemplify what love is. First, define love, then live it. There's a kid in school to me. I tell him all the time, feel the love in your heart. I tell him all the time. And now he comes to me all the time. Mr. Chris, feel the love in my heart. Feel the love in your heart. Feel the love in your heart. Like, yes, absolutely. And then I tell him, now live it. What is love, though? Love is understanding. It's unconditional, as difficult as that is. And it is. It's forgiving. It's acceptance. It's grateful. It's all of that. And if you take 1 second at a time, 1 moment at a time to be all of that, to find a way to choose to be that, we will collectively raise the vibration of this earth and get us to a point to where the guy down there, can't touch us because we are going to send him love. We accept who you are down there. We accept that. We love. We love you because we love all. We don't love what you do. We don't love what you stand for. But we're going to send you love because we know ultimately that's what's going to win. Thank you all so much for being here today. I hope you guys learned something. Yeah. To be honest with you, there are times throughout these recordings that I know I'm channeling. And the last podcast I did, I didn't channel because I knew there were times when I could feel them with me, channeling through me as I'm talking. And that happened again today. So I'm not going to channel again. But know that what I'm saying here, I know they are coming through and talking to me, talking to you, I should say, talking through me. So I hope you guys are okay with that. Also, I didn't, if you guys are interested, here are these shirts that I had made. It says open to energy. And then up top, it says love is our guide. If you guys are interested in a sweatshirt or a t-shirt like this, let me know. Shoot me an email. Emails on my website, opentooenergy.com, and I'll send you one. At small cost. Honestly, you pay for only what it would cost to get it made. And I'll get that out to you because love has to be our guide. Open to the energy and understanding that love is our guide. Always. This is just to use as a reminder because I love having little things around that remind me all the time. In every location that I am, I have stuff there. My car, my room, my house, my classroom. There's something there that reminds me to be love. So if you're interested in a shirt, send me an email. I'll get one made for you. You only pay the cost to have it made. And it's yours. Tell me your size and all that, and we're good. Um, thank you all so much. I am so grateful for you all. Love all. I mean that. Love all. Forgive all. Not the action, but the soul. And it'll be good. I love you all. Take care. Have a great day. Goodbye.